David, you're saying this is a good time to short JGBs. Is it widowmaker trade short? Because, I mean, you know, you're used to things going in a drip feed fashion in Japan, except for when you take a look at the way the 10 is ramped. That's been, I think, it's caught a lot of people by surprise how fast that's gone.
Well, yes. Now, I'm not a trader, and anyone who wants me to make money for them would obviously end up being a pauper. But as a matter of opinion, I think that the long-term yields, 10-year JGBs in Japan, will settle down between 1.5, say, and 1.7%. And the short-term rates will continue to rise, and the yield curve will flatten slightly. Now, this, of course, does not pay due attention and deference to the phenomenal debt-to-GDP ratio of Japan. And what happens when the BOJ is not buying all the debt they still have to issue. Those are problems that are out there. But in my view, I don't think we're going to see a debt crisis in Japan this year. I think we'll probably see a debt crisis in the US, where the bond vigilantes will take on, you know, Trump's fiscal arithmetic as being pretty nonsensical whenever we get to being able to see it. And it's possible we'll have a debt crisis for places like France, which are, you know, really going to hell in a handcart. If you think Germany is complicated, by God, go look at the French Parliament. So I think debt crisis we will have. We'll not have them in Japan, so we're okay. We're okay.
All right. Jabaz, the 10-year, what is fair value? Is it? I mean, it used to be, a lot of people were saying it's probably around 160 basis points. What is it now, do you think?
Yeah, I would not short JGBs here. I think in the near term, we would probably trade close to where we are, 1.4 to 1.5%, you know, for a couple of reasons. One is, we think that while the BOJ is on a hiking path in the near term, it's going to be a very slow hiking process. As I mentioned earlier, we are only expecting 2 more rate hikes this year. And the BOJ has warned us that it would not tolerate, you know, a big move higher in JGB yields. So, you know, it is possible that the BOJ, and I think it's likely that the BOJ will support the JGB market if we were to see much upside volatility. And then finally, I think that the neutral rate in Japan is probably close to 0% at best, maybe even slightly lower, given the demographics in Japan, which have not really changed. And if anything, you know, you're seeing the trend continue of higher life expectancy, higher need for savings, and so on. And finally, as I mentioned earlier, you know, consistent with the view that the yen could rally going forward, that repatriation money, especially in a risk-off scenario, could come home to be invested in JGBs. So, you know, I don't expect to see upside from current levels.